Are you serious? That's how we're gonna start this mother. Are you serious? Well, if that isn't a kick in the pants, and to show me how this is gonna go, I don't know what is. What the hell? Come on, man. I had a plan. Everything was gonna be great. There's coal, so now I feel obligated to dig. I am not a happy camper right now. Like, why? Why can't I just have nice things? Oh, I blew up my window too? For real? And my stairs. And the stairs are just gone. I had dirt here. I had my door right here. That was just cruel. Like, seriously. Thankfully, I had a singular backup. Now we got to get the iron. In case you can't tell, I am extremely sick today. I had what was supposed to just be, as far as I could tell, basic sinus infection. I thought I knew what caused it. I took the steps to alleviate that, so it didn't continue, and thought I was supposed to get better. It is now 4 days later. I have not gotten better. I've arguably gotten a lot worse, and my whole house is sick. So that's just great. But it's left me with a lot of time where I'm not working. And every time that happens, I get to thinking. And every time that happens, bad stuff happens. Because the reality is, if I'm being completely honest with myself and those around me, I don't think I'm very happy professionally. Like, I don't know that I'm getting the fulfillment I'm supposed to get from my job and the things that I do. I feel like this bottom layer should be log as well. By the way, this is Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. This is, I guess, a continuation of my Let's Play. I typically do these a little bit more structured, but I just kind of wanted to talk today. This is going to go up way later than when I'm recording it, because I am like 11 episodes ahead. So, apologies for that confusion, but I'm feeling a little lost right now, if I'm being completely honest. I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. My job is amazing. My job is like the best job in the world. I get to do crap like this and justify it as my work, and arguably not really miss out on much because of it. Like, it is my work. But it's also not that simple. Like, yeah, I got what I consider the best or one of the best jobs ever. It is what I spent a significant part of my life working towards. It is a job that many people want. It is a job that I'm fairly certain I still want, because I cannot imagine doing anything else at this point. But at least with the primary parts of my job, I'm not really sure I'm getting fulfillment from it anymore. And at this point, I'm not entirely sure what to do about that. I can't just abandon that part of the job. Like, earlier in my career, I was able to make big moves, big shifts. I was able to completely reinvent myself based on the changing market, so to speak, and what I wanted for myself. We're going to do a glass roof on that part, so we'll leave this. I was able to really, like I said, completely reinvent myself, both in terms of like my on-screen branding or whatever, and what I actually did or cared about. I don't really have that privilege anymore. I have a family that's dependent on me. I have a fairly kind of locked-in career at this point with, like, expectations. I can't just be like, lol, I'm doing this other thing now, and that'd be okay. Whereas before, I had that flexibility. I had the adaptability to do that. And I don't. And the thing that I'm trapped doing is still challenging plenty of times. A good portion of the time. I don't know the wording I'm looking for there for some reason. It's interesting some of the time. It's fulfilling some of the time. But a lot of the time, it's not. A lot of the time, I find myself more and more getting bored of it or not wanting to do it. It's gotten to the point that it's kind of repetitive, derivative. I don't feel like I'm pushing the envelope. I don't feel like I have room to push the envelope. It's not even that, like, I'm failing to do so. That is obviously, like, objectively a part of it. But I don't feel like there's room for me to do something new and innovative. I'm just supposed to keep doing the same thing forever and ever because that's what is expected of me. And I get bored of that. And the scene that I occupy, the scene that I cover for those things, continues to head in a direction that I frankly don't care so much about. And it's not even just that I don't care about it. Like, it's easy for me to frame it that way. Like, yes, I do get bored of things. I do seek newness. I do seek new challenges. That is how I stumbled into the field into the first place. But it's also just not that interesting to everyone else anymore either. There was a window where this was a really popular niche subject, whatever. And I was rewarded for being, the expert on the thing. That time is gone. No one cares anymore. People do care, but they're, far and few between by comparison. And this would be a really cool little dig out here for this. The recipe for burnout is not being rewarded for hard work that you are not super interested in. If there's no intrinsic reward for doing the thing, and you're also not being extrinsically rewarded, you're going to burn out. And I'm someone who hasn't struggled with burnout all that much because, historically at least, I have always been intrinsically rewarded by it. It's always been something I was passionate about, something that I cared thoroughly about, something that I was going to be interested in whether people watched or not. And that seems to be changing. And I think it's because the way I kept myself interested before, even when people weren't watching, was by making it my own and by things changing a lot and developing. And now that things are pretty stagnant and stable, I don't care so much. And I'm not really sure what to do about that. I'm not really sure how to fix that. Not sure if it needs fixing. It feels like it does. I got into doing what I do because I wanted to be happy. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to pursue my ever-changing creative interests. And this job has afforded me that luxury. It has allowed me to do crazy, incredible things in that vein. Do not blow me up. Okay. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, I didn't get that from my job. But that is not a consistent reward. It has allowed me to do so. It does not necessarily consistently allow me to do so. And apparently, after I get to a certain age, or a certain point, or something, that differentiation starts to matter a lot. It starts to matter that I'm not rewarded as well as I used to, that I don't get, oh darn, as much as I used to out of it. Both like, again, intrinsically and extrinsically. It matters that it's easier than ever for everyone else to do it, which is awesome. That's kind of the point of what I've done in my career. But also it means my role has to shift to account for that. And I don't think I've been ready for that ahead of time. It just kind of feels like, especially since I had a kid into the, as the pandemic started, I was not cued in onto the fact that everything was about to change. That my role was about to be completely different. And I don't think I mind, ultimately, that my role is different. Like, the idea itself is not what bothers me. What bothers me is that I don't know where I fit next. I don't know what my new role is. Because in some ideal world, it would just be exploring whatever it is I want to do. Like, this would probably be the time to just be me, to go explore all the other stuff. But I didn't... I've never been someone whose career was a quick shot to money and then I got to spend that doing whatever. Like, that is a pseudo-typical YouTuber story for those who quote-unquote make it. But that, unfortunately, or fortunately, I mean, there are definitely downsides to it, but whichever direction you read it, that was never my story. I never experienced that. I don't know what it's like. I'll probably never be there. And so, how do you then make that decision to just drop everything and be you or whatever? Like, how can I justifiably go change it up when I don't have, I literally do not have the room. I don't have that freedom. I have people who depend on me. I have debt, a lot of debt to pay off at this point. Theoretically, my career should just be entering its prime. And I believe that to be true. In some capacity, I absolutely do. I don't think I'm done yet. I think I still have a lot to offer. But I've been conditioned into being this particular thing to the extent that I could not identify to you what I have to offer next. I was an educator. I mean, first I wanted to be an entertainer. I think I failed at that. I don't think I had the chops. I don't think I entertained. I don't think it worked out. And so I moved on to being an educator because it was something that I was good at. It was something that, this is a boring house. I realize that. We will decorate it more as we go, but like, I think it's working. This side is a little extended here, so it looks a little more unique. We could put up some half slabs or something as like a continued awning and then build up fence posts from there. That could be pretty cool. So like up to right here, I think it's that one. Yeah, that could look cool. Make this like a little covered deck and just extend it a bit. Probably even extend it with normal wood first before half slabs. Probably half slab there, but then do. Then another post there. Or maybe I just do half slabs. Can you do them side by side? I think that's the play. But yeah, like This is something that's been such a big struggle, both because I feel like my time to shine has passed. I feel like the window to capitalize on the things that I specialize in is gone. But also, I feel like the mechanisms that afford me the ability to do what I do no longer support that kind of role as well in the first place. There are tons of educational channels on YouTube. A lot of them are doing great. But not a lot of them support themselves full-time doing that. They often need a lot more. And that introduces the dilemma. I don't know where to go from here is ultimately the problem. I don't know how to recover. I don't know that I will recover my career. And this makes it sound like I've lost something, and arguably I've lost nothing at all. Like, I feel pretty confident, in fact, in stating that, in, like, reading it that way. Like, I haven't lost anything. Nothing has happened. I haven't been canceled. I haven't thrown anything away. But this kind of job slips out from under you pretty quickly. It goes away. It doesn't go away all at once for most people. It goes away slowly over time when you notice things starting to go in a certain direction and they don't come back. And there's lots of ways to pivot to prevent things from snowballing in that direction and going there forever. But I've not made the moves to prevent that pivot. And I'm not entirely sure if that's like ultimate. Wow, I was not supposed to come up here yet. Ultimately, I still don't know if I haven't made those moves because I'm incapable of them, or because I'm unwilling, or because I just haven't found the right one yet. Like, I don't know. I don't know that it will happen. I don't know that it won't. But, like, wow, these are stupidly hard to break, really. Oh, and it's just gone. That's bull. I'm sorry, that's cow. And again, this sounds pretty melodramatic, especially when, again, I haven't overtly lost anything. But I've been feeling it slip away from me for a while. And this is about the time that on multiple occasions I would have done something about it. I would have reinvented myself. I would have found a new brand, a new battle strategy. I would have figured it out in some way. And I haven't. And again, I don't know. I honestly don't know whether it's due to lack of ability or lack of trying. And arguably, there's not even a big difference there. Like, arguably, the inability or unwillingness to try is, in its own way, an inability to do so. Like, if I can't compromise to make it happen enough, then that is still me being unable to do this. And that is okay if that is the case. But, like, I can't figure out if I'm getting in my own way or if I'm just not if I'm just not fit for it anymore. And I don't know how to tell, because I feel like if I had the answers at this point, I would have done it. I feel like if it were doable, I would have saved myself the stress of trying to figure it out up to this point, and it would be done. I wouldn't have to worry about this. But this has come up over and over. And it has not improved. It has not resolved. I've looked at the problem in the face over and over, and seemingly been completely unable to do anything about it. And that does not feel good. Especially because I could look at anyone else in this position, arguably, and tell them precisely what to do. And I have done that multiple times. I consult with other creators all the time. I give this sort of advice, and it's helpful. Broadly speaking, I can't speak for everyone, but like broadly speaking, I think I've made a pretty good... That was a creeper right outside the door. I think I've made a pretty good impact on the people I've helped. And yet, anytime I try to take the same advice, that's the issue. Anytime I try to give myself that kind of advice, I stall out. I seem unable to. I either can't find the answer, or if I know the answer, I am just incapable of listening. And this has happened all throughout my career. I could conjure up a serious battle plan for basically anyone's channel to grow it pretty well, find success, make a lot of money, whatever, and mostly do it. Because the answers, look. Hey, you. What do you think you're doing? Because the answers are not as complicated as they seem. Like, a lot of people overthink success with this stuff, myself included. I appreciate the irony of me saying this, but hear me out. A lot of people overthink the answers here, and it rarely needs to be complicated. But then, despite knowing what the answers should probably be for anyone else, even if I just try to copy paste, like if I'm trying to recreate the exact same kind of channel that I'm, giving advice on, I cannot bring myself to do the thing. Either I think it's too easy. I don't know the answer to this, by the way. I'm not saying it's one of these things. Either I think it's too easy and I'm just apparently unwilling to do the easy thing, or I don't believe that it would work for me because I've tried, doing the same kind of work as other people and not found good success pretty frequently, or I'm just incapable of taking my own advice. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just like, I wish someone could just slap me and make me do the thing. I almost think when I know the answer, and like I see the path and it feels easy, or it feels like I'm doing it for the sake of doing it versus just chasing whatever raw, interesting idea I have, it's less fulfilling for me. Like, I think that's ultimately what it comes down to, is like, once I find a formula, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do a formula. I want to just kind of explore, do it the fun way. And that's so counterproductive. It doesn't work. I don't know what the answer is. Like I said, I've been arguably spiraling on this for the past 2 years. At least, probably more. Like, it's not been fun. I've been trying to figure this out. I've I've had no real luck finding the answers, doing any soul searching with any success. Like, it's just been there's no guidebook. There's not really anyone to look towards in this regard. You're just supposed to do the thing. And no one really tells you what to do when you stop understanding how to do the thing. When it stops making sense. When it stops adding up. When the answers seem to stop coming when you've always had them. I don't know. I've just been feeling a little lost lately. And frankly, I don't know that that's going to change anytime soon. I don't see a world in which this gets easier. Like, I don't. And I think that's a core part of the problem. Like, you manifest your success in some ways. And by saying, like, oh, I'm trapped and there's nothing I can do, that just becomes the truth, even if it's not. And so in some ways, like, yeah, I am doing it to myself. I am getting in my own way because I am framing it that way. But at this point, I don't know how else to go about it. I don't know how to resolve that feeling. And the sad part is, no one else can give me that answer. Like, there is no one else in the world who can tell me the right answer for me in that regard. Someone can certainly offer advice, but no one's going to have what actually works for me. That's just not how it works. I really like that. Anyway, thanks for listening, I guess. I might even post this out of order. You don't see any of the other spoilers other than what we've done here. But I might just post it as like an individual video on its own. So you can see what we've been doing. Those cows just all spawned in. I don't know. I've got some thinking to do. And I'd love to hear what you had to say. So this is probably going up before like episode 3 even airs. So just consider this like a what the starter house should have been. As you start seeing where things go in the Let's Play, I guess. I don't know. Remember to be kind, rewind, be nice to each other out there. You deserve it.